welcome back to Radicata Nutrition. This week we're going to talk about, when you look back at old pictures of yourself and you can see something that goes beyond like the physical appearance in your body, like looking at a picture of yourself from the past, maybe not when you were like a little kid, but from, when you were an adult. I'm pretty sure you can remember like the kind of things that you were thinking at the time, the kind of challenges and struggles you were facing, kind of the theme that your life had in that moment. So I would invite you to look at a picture of yourself from a few years ago and to try to see what was happening in your mind back then. So how does that relate to Radicata Nutrition and what we're doing here and learning how to heal and nourish ourselves from the inside out, looking at all four of our roots: body, mind, heart, and soul. Well, let me give you an example. I was looking at some pictures of myself, and here's a little comparison that I posted on Instagram. There's a lot of reflection, but this one is from 2011. I used to live in Australia at the time. And this one is very recent, from this year. So the things that you cannot see in that picture is that, yes, my body is very different. I mean, there is a 7-year difference. I had a baby in between. I healed a lot of things at all levels: body, mind, heart, and soul. Back in 2011, I was in a very disordered place with my eating, with my relationship with my body and my health. I was still healing from a lot of gut issues that I have struggled with. I pretty much hated myself. I remember feeling so disgusted with myself, with how my body looked. I remember worrying so much about every bite of food that I put in my body. I remember spending so much time looking at myself in the mirror and trying to find clothes that would hide, quote unquote, I hide my flaws, and trying to make myself smaller, trying to not be noticed because I thought that I was just so ugly, fat, and disgusting, and I just wanted to be someone else. That's the truth. I really did not like myself at all. I actually didn't even really know who I was. Yeah, it's hard to look back and think about all the things that were going on in my head at the time. And so much happened in the years between the picture on the left and on the right. And right now, I can truly say that, I don't say that I'm in love with myself and that I love all of my body and all of that, but I'm so much more comfortable with myself, who I am. And I feel like I found myself again. I feel home in my body with myself. It's really a difficult thing to explain. If I would have tried to explain that to me 7 years ago, I don't even think that I would have understood what it meant. I would have thought that I was, completely crazy, that this was not impossible, that it was completely out of reach for that ugly, the ugly that I was back then. There was just so many barriers and things that I put inside of my head and around my heart that prevented me from fully unfolding and blooming like I was meant to be. So, when I look at those two pictures, what is the biggest difference? The biggest difference is all the space that I created within my mind and with my thoughts. During those years, I really took a hard look. I mean, a gentle, compassionate, but also a hard look at some of these darker places of myself and those thoughts and limiting beliefs that society puts on us. Like, you have to look a certain way to be desirable and accepted in society. You have to do certain things to be successful. You have to, follow a certain track, get a house, get a diploma, and get a baby, and blah, blah, blah. All of these expectations that others put on ourselves and that we put on ourselves too. And we have to look a certain way, that we should be smaller and slender and slimmer and weigh a certain number on the scale and fit into a X pair of jeans, I don't want to say number because those numbers can be really triggering, and I'm really mindful of that. But I'm sure you can relate to that. So how can we turn that around? How can we create more of that space? Because it's impossible to truly change at all levels, like we're trying to do with Radicata Nutrition by fully nourishing and supporting all four of our roots, body, mind, heart, and soul. We need to do that. And it's really hard to do when we have all of that clutter, all of those beliefs and thoughts that we took in our heads, but that are not ours. So what I want you to know is that you can let go of some of them. You don't have to keep them and carry them. It's time to declutter. It's not necessarily easy, but I would really encourage you to look at some of these beliefs that you have around food, your health, your body. What is really yours? What has been planted there, implanted there, there by someone else, by society? Do you really want to keep carrying those on your shoulders? Or could you just let them go? So every week I give you a journaling prompt that you can try and work on your own, because that's really where the magic happens. With this video, it's more like I'm planting a seed, and then you can grow that by using the journaling prompt. So the first one would be, how much space is worrying about food, my health, and my body taking right now in my life? You can try to rate it as a percentage. Is it, 50% of your thoughts are dedicated to food, your health, and your body, or 90%? For me, it was 90% for sure, if not more than that, was all of my life. And try to keep journaling and journal about how big it is, how much space it is taking in your life, and how much it is impacting other areas of your life, and how little room it is leaving for other things in your life. For example, back then I didn't have any other hobbies. My hobbies were food and health and nutrition and trying to fix myself. That was my only life project, pretty much. And then you can also use a prompt. What would I like instead? What would you like to use that space for, instead of worrying about food, your health, and your body? So that's it for this week. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I'd love to hear what kind of insights you get from that journaling inquiry. And stay tuned and posted for next week's episode of Radicata Nutrition. Until then, have a good week. That was pretty loud, wasn't it? But namaste.